It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And I'm really happy that tonight we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Warriors in Oakland. Well, for Golden State,
got an electric crowd here in Golden State's Oracle Arena. We'll see the Houston Rockets facing the NBA champion Golden State Warriors. With Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And joining us tonight, a man who once said he will never write another traditional sports column. Please don't say that so, Bill Simmons. Don't say that.
Well, now you just have to tweet. You need 280 characters, and you can pretend you're a writer.
What do you think of social media?
I actually think for basketball it's been a huge advantage. And it hasn't been a huge advantage for a lot of other things, but I think it's made basketball a lot more fun. I do worry, though, sometimes that people are just watching their Twitter feed over the games. I still think there's an advantage for people who actually are watching what's going on versus watching people's reactions to what's going on.
Interesting. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And so in the game for the Rockets, the engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Melo and Tucker are the forwards. And it's Capella in at the center position. Paul kicks it to Tucker. Pass to Capella. Anthony with it. Over Durant. Not enough on that one as it misses. And there's the pass to Curry. Poke loose. Back to Durant. Green passes to Curry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A floater. He takes it up and lays it in. Curry's got his first points of the night. And before the ownership changed in 2010, the Warriors franchise really staggered.
Yeah, They staggered to the point that in 2012, I wrote a long column for Grantland about, it was like the 60 reasons you can't blame the Warriors fans for booing their owner on Chris Mullin night. And I went through their whole history since they won the title in '74 of just all the horrible things that happened to them, all the dumb moves they made, all the dumb trades, all the things they never should have done. It was extensive. And after things flipped around, people mail me that article all the time, like, can you believe it? We've won 3 titles in the last 4 years. You just wrote this. It feels like yesterday. And it was. It's one of the most amazing turnarounds of any franchise I can remember.
I'm assuming you're a fan of their front office.
Yeah, very, very smart. But, you know, the pieces were there. When they bought the team, everyone thought they overpaid. And not to toot my own horn because I've been wrong a million times, but I was one of the only people who didn't think they overpaid. I just felt like that market was awesome. I loved their fans. It was in the heart of Silicon Valley. It made sense that they should be a juggernaut, you know, and they had never really had good ownership. And as we learn over and over every year at the Knicks, like, owners matter. They just do.
On defense, the Warriors.
And one of the things Cousins has continued to develop is defense. Really makes an effort to swat that shot away.
The Warriors have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. Draymond Green, everything he brings to the table, his defense, his charisma, his offensive game, a great passing game. Is there a player you compare him to?
Well, I have a soft spot for Draymond because we did the courtside show for HBO, the behind-the-scenes finals thing.
Yes.
And he had some of the most unbelievable stuff that we couldn't keep in the show.
No kidding.
Draymond is one of a kind because he's basically a center, but the only other center who's really succeeded at his size was Wes Unseld a million years ago. He's a stretch 5 who doesn't really shoot threes that well, but tends to make them when he absolutely has to.
Steve does not want him taking threes.
No.
Not at all.
But when he actually takes them in a big spot, a lot of times they go in.
No. Okay,
Yeah, he's a great no-no-yes guy.
Yeah.
I think he brings all their alpha. I don't think Durant and Curry are the traditional alphas, and I think he's kind of the bulldog and the
you
let's
need
go
that
guy.
on a good team,
Yeah.
don't you?
And the best thing with him is when he's playing well, they're unstoppable. When he has it, and there's nights, I thought during the 25-game winning streak to start the 16 season, I thought he was incredible. And the intensity that he played with every night was really inspiring.
Triple doubles and
oh my God,
every category.
Taking on crowds and just, I just love that guy.
Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the 3 ways of I'm getting to know you. What are the 3 things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other 2 things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, you know, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke. Right? I mean, there's been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
Jordan Bell's checked in for Cousins. Yarebko comes in for Green. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Kevin Durant. And it's Livingston in for Thompson. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. Ennis comes in for P.J. Tucker. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for James Harden. And Knight subbed in for Paul.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Outside Anthony. Back to Knight to halt the run. Rebounded by Yarebko. Warriors leading by 9. Knight kicks to Ennis. Back to Knight. In the corner, it's Gordon. Fires the 3. And it's Curry with the rebound. High arcing shot. And Iguodala with a nice bucket inside. Iguodala's got 5 now. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's the screen to the middle. Here's Anthony. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot, and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
Curry against Knight. Tries to keep it alive, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
Yeah, just stepped out of bounds as he tried to slither around the defender there. Good job by the D to cut him off.
Five seconds left to play in the first. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Oh, that's a brutal giveaway. A pass to no man's land.
The shot will not fall. And so it's the Golden State Warriors in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. Right back after this break. James Ennis played in Australia, Puerto Rico, the G League. He talked about his NBA journey and his goals.
Just to be a rotation player. I know I got better. I know I worked hard to get here, to stay here, and just be able to knock down the shot and the 3. I want to shoot the ball 40% and above.
And with the importance of the 3 ball nowadays, Greg, a great goal for Ennis.
He possesses length and athleticism on the wing, and if he can reliably knock down the triple, he's a consistent rotation player in this league.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get that transition game going.
Well, this roster is built for guys with speed. They're running the floor hard in the first quarter.
Livingston is out there with Curry. Then there's Bell. Then there's Yarebko. And it's Iguodala in at the 3. So that's the group out there for Golden State. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
Yeah, he never backs down. Thanks, David.
Look, it's always awesome to see Gordon take it to the rim, adding more wrinkles to his offensive game. Sick.
And the Rockets' defense, much improved, at least statistically, on the perimeter and inside. What did you think, though? What did the eye test tell you on that?
Well, it told me that James Harden was trying harder.
Yeah, right.
I
think Chris Paul may have changed the culture in that way a bit.
Absolutely. Hey, it's funny because you figure you put Mike D'Antoni and James Harden together, and that's a recipe for a defensive disaster. Mike D'Antoni, when he was in the Suns, they didn't practice defense. I know for a fact. Suns have told me that. My buddy Jalen played for them. They didn't even address defense. So you put him with James Harden, who didn't care for a while there anyway, and you just think this is going to go badly. But I thought they were really good defensively last year. We'll see if it continues.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game. And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Here's Iguodala. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
Oh, man, the long arms of Iguodala. Such an asset, converting around the painted area.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Well, I think the first thing they need to talk about in the rotations is a lot of miscommunication out there.
DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for the Warriors. And the Rockets making a change here as well. Tucker's checked in. Rockets trail by 14. Knight passes to Nene. Thompson against Green. Kicks it to Nene. 6 on the shot clock. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Golden State. Green comes in for Jordan Bell. And Durant subbed in for Andre Iguodala. And then for Houston, Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Harden comes in for Gordon. And Paul subbed in for Knight. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Livingston. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Livingston's got 4 points in the quarter.
You can't overcommit when Green has the ball. He'll make you pay by finding the open teammate.
Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. It was probably the most famous NBA game ever of the, the kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Bill, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were, and what do they think the Shaq, Kobe Lakers were? And this is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. they did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming, the summer of 2016. We knew the cap was going to jump, and they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team. He wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
Now here's Cousins. Basket good. Cousins has got his second bucket of the game to go.
That's where Cousins is most dangerous, and letting him go to work inside is something they're always trying to make happen.
Paul left side. The 11-footer, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. And Bill, we were discussing how teams are constructed in recent years. The changes in 2016 to cap space. How Kevin Durant landed with the Warriors.
I see the analogy that, it's like stacking a pickup game and just grabbing the best 4 guys and just beating people on a pickup court for 4 hours. But that's the thing, the league isn't a pickup game. The league, everyone operates by the same rules. And the Warriors,
everybody had a shot at him.
Everyone had a shot. The Celtics had a shot. He didn't want to interview with the Lakers. The Knicks had cap space. They didn't have a chance. The Wizards had cap space. He was from Maryland. Didn't want to go there. So, I think the Warriors should get a little more credit for how smart they were with everything.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on. Go Celtics.
You can't root on these, Bill.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Greg, a lot of great sports writers out there, also great commentators. And then there's Bill Simmons. He's kind of carved out his own category.
Bill once said he will never write a traditional sports column, and he stayed true to that. He writes from the viewpoint of the passionate sports fan and brings that to his commentary as well.
And the Rockets with a big summer and back with a vengeance in pursuit of an elusive title.
Don't count them out. If they can control Chris Paul's minutes, try to keep him healthy for the playoffs, if they're 100%, they can beat anybody.
Curry's checked in for Sean Livingston. James Ennis, he'll check in for the Rockets. Here's Durant, and Kevin Durant with the slam.
Getting to the rim and dunking it down, that's the aggressive side.
Houston's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Harden kicks to Capella. Pass to Paul. Knocked away. Oh, and here we go. Green's got it. The fast break chance. The 17-footer. And it's Durant, that time on the assist by Green. And that's now 11 points for Kevin Durant. For Houston, they've gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Ball against Curry. They need this. Another miss by Houston.
The struggles this quarter continue. The D's done a good job.
And I love seeing Harden get room to shoot from that mid-range position, an effective scorer in that area.
It's Curry outside. Another 3 for Golden State.
He's got 6 points from beyond the arc in this quarter. I mean, for the game, he's got 9 points from deep.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. That's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. Nene kicks to Paul. Shoots over Curry, and the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's foul number 2 for him.
I've heard CP3 called the monster of the mid-range. That shot is his bread and butter.
There's 10 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Curry with the 3. The basket good off the assist from Durant. 16 points for Steph Curry.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
Part of this falls on the defense. I mean, you know he's hot. You'd like to force someone else to shoot the basketball.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going after him.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors. And it was from three-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Steve Kerr and Coach, what is the offensive approach going to be in the second half?
Well, we just have to do what we do, move the ball and wear them down with our ball movement, our cutting, and our spacing, and set better screens, all the usual stuff.
Yeah, it always seems to work out for you in the long run. Thanks, Steve. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 16 points, 4 assists, and also 3 steals. He struggled in their last game, but he's not having any problems tonight. Really good first half for him. He was right on the mark. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, their field goal percentage is a number that jumps off the page. May I say it's Shaq-like?
That's a good one.
Seriously, they're incredibly efficient shooting the basketball, and I don't think they settle for any bad shots. And you're never going to go wrong with that strategy.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Well, there are a few areas they need to improve on, but perimeter defense is priority numero uno. They got to be quicker to close out on the three-point shooters, and you got to prevent the open looks. They weren't fighting through screens. They're just not doing enough, Ernie, especially outside.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
And through the first 2 quarters, he was dynamite from beyond.
Yeah, I'm surprised the defense didn't do a better job of adjusting it. I mean, extending out on him a little bit more.
You know, C-Webb, every player wants to play in a system where what they do best is always highlighted. It brings out their strong points. What are some of the plays or actions that best suited your skills when you play?
One of the things that I needed was a great point guard. So whether it was Rod Strickland, whether it was Avery Johnson in Golden State, of course my man Jay Will, and that was guys that could get me the ball, that would trust, that would throw it up. Also, then that I could handle the ball, draw a double team, and get it out to them, and they could knock down the shot. Having a great shooter like Apasia would allow me to grab a double team and to look for him on the opposite side. So I needed teams that had great ball movement, that had players that could knock down the open shot, and then a team that could run would allow me to push the break or allow me to fill in the break and kind of do everything. Teams that would allow me to be positionless and not just be rigid or old in their ways and say, we play old traditional basketball that doesn't allow anyone to flourish with what they've been working on in the offseason.
And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Melo and Tucker are the forwards. The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. And it's Capella in at the 5 spot. Thompson from long range. Another 3 for Golden State.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triple.
And it's Anthony at the elbow. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Anthony's got 10 points in the game.
Man, he's superb at finding open teammates. Harden, I love how he looks to shed a rock.
Cousins with a screen for Curry. Fires from 18. And there's Cousins. That's good on the assist by Curry. Curry's got assist number 5 here tonight. Houston's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Now a timeout called by Houston.
Well, Steph Curry, widely regarded as the best shooter in the history of the game. He's been so successful playing point guard in the NBA at times. I think we forget that he transitioned from playing shooting guard in his younger days.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Kevin Durant. And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for Houston.
They are shooting the lights out from beyond on really limited attempts. So you have to think they ought to feed those hot hands on the perimeter and see if they can keep this thing going.
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Paul, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
How's that for a start? Good on all 3 attempts so far in the second half.
Curry dishes to Iguodala. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's foul number 2 for him. Green, he's checked in for the Rockets. Cousins, the pass to Iguodala. Cousins with a screen on Green. Here's Iguodala. It's rebounded by Houston.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
With the shot, and it's Houston with another.
Amazing feel for scoring on the interior. I mean, Harden, he's excellent at mixing it up.
Warriors leading by 22. Curry kicks to Cousins. And no good. Good work defensively by Capella.
And the much vaunted defense of the Warriors took a step back last season, falling from second in the league in defensive rank to 11. But it's tough to nitpick, but I'm sure it's an area they're looking at to address.
Here's Green. James Harden picking up that last basket. Green passes to Thompson. Outside Curry. Launches it. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got his 3rd assist on the night.
That lead's only going to keep growing if he keeps shooting like he has so far.
And tough defense has been a staple with this group in Golden State, reversing decades of history in that regard.
Decades and decades and decades. The Warriors hadn't been better than 10th in defensive efficiency since 1979, a 35-year hiatus that happily came to an end in 2014.
Curry against Paul to the inside, and the dunk by Capella.
The main strength of Capella's offensive game, I mean, he uses his athleticism to power home these alley-oops.
And that unleashed chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Upper Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
You know the saying, the numbers don't lie. You can see it up there on the scoreboard.
Now here's Paul. 7 points in the game. Shots good by Anthony.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Passes it to Thompson. Over Harden. Thompson misses.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Well, I like the decision-making, though. I mean, that's a shot you want to keep taking.
And the offense starting to click for them this half. They've raised that field goal percentage quite a bit since the break.
And Cousins kicks to Curry. Back to Cousins. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got his 7th assist here tonight. Harden the pass to Capella. And the whistle blow. It's going to be on Andre Iguodala. That's his first foul. The Warriors making a switch here. Bell's checked in. The Rockets also changing it up. Nene comes in for Clint Capella. And it's Gordon in for James Harden. Paul against Curry. Shot from 12. And Paul gets it to go in. Paul's got 4 points in the quarter.
And the competitive nature of Paul, even when he's covered, he still goes right at the defense.
Curry kicks to Cousins. Back to Curry. From 12 feet out. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Curry's got 9 points now in just the second half. Outside Anthony. 35 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Nene, the screen, and here's Green outside, and another 3 for Houston.
On that play, I mean, it feels even better to be the guy setting the screen than the guy scoring the points.
Iguodala kicks to Bell. At the elbow, it's Cousins. Thompson against Gordon. Shot clock at 5. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. 10 points for Klay Thompson.
Oh, that's just a good decision right there by Klay. Gets a little space, takes it himself.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors. He's at the quarter-century mark. 25 points for him in this game as they have. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And here are the Rockets now. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Thompson and Durant, the deadly shooting wing pair. Bell is out there with Yarebko, and it's Curry in at the point. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Thompson outside. We know that stars, especially superstars, get some level of benefit from the refs. What do you think of that? Is that good for the game?
I think the refs should always be fair. I think, yes, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt if you're James Harden and you can cross everyone over and you get 10 free throws a game. He earns those most nights. But yeah, there's going to be some nights in which he gets a call or two here because as an offensive player, you want to be so aggressive that you put the referees in a tough position to make a tough call and to see what that was. Fans want to see the best players play, not sit. So you have to be judicious with how far you go, but just sometimes slip in the tendencies. I used to get so mad when all I would do is go challenge a shot. The human kickstand would kick his leg out. The ref would say I fouled him. I didn't foul him. And the best actor in the world would get to go to the line, get a 4-pointer. And okay, Caleb, what was the question again? Stars. Oh, superstars getting.
I don't know. Let's stop. Let's stop.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Thompson against Gordon. Capella with a screen on Curry. Using the screen. Nice. And it's Houston with another.
All about the pick there. I mean, let him shed his man and square up for the jumper.
Timeout called the Warriors.
Oh, and Clint Capella, born in Switzerland, his mother immigrating from the Congo. Growing up poor, Clint lived in a welfare orphanage from age 6 up to 13. I mean, those were tough times, but he said it helped prepare him for where he is now.
Rockets making a switch here. Paul's checked in. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. And Chris, when growing up, Capella lived in 2 different group homes. He said the first one taught him life skills. And he said the second one motivated him to get out of there.
He compared it to living in a prison. He desperately wanted to return home. Imagine that. So he worked to be, in his words, perfect from his studies to his conduct, all while fighting off bullies. After 1 year, he returned home. but he continues to pursue perfection in his craft to this day.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Give the loose D an assist on that one. Get a body on him.
Paul against Curry. Paul outside. The call will go against Jerebko. That's his first foul. Green, he's checked in for the Warriors. And a change for the Rockets. James Harden, he's checked in for James Ennis. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Screen by Capella. Now, here's Tucker, guarded by Green. Paul for three. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
I love how Paul adjusts to the situation. Always seems to create just enough space for his shot. Frustrating if you're the man guarding.
Here's Thompson. That one's off. Still out of sync. Rockets trail by 12. To the inside. Here's Gordon. He can't hit that time. Durant with some nice D. And the wide open shot from Green. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
And when Draymond sets his feet, catches, and releases in rhythm, watch out.
Houston moving it around. Screen by Capella. Gordon for three. Doesn't go for him. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way.
He's not the only one to blame for them being behind, but he hasn't helped their cause much.
The screen from Thompson. They set the pick. It's Curry outside. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got 6 rebounds in the game. From deep, Harden. It's rebounded by Durant. Warriors leading by 14. He kicks it to Curry. Green, the screen. Durant against Gordon. Shot clock at 6. Gordon against Durant. Off target with his 3. Rockets trailed by 14. Pass to Tucker. Thompson against Harden. And here's Gordon from outside. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got his 4th assist in this one. Now a timeout called by Golden State. They're ahead by 11. 1:37 left in the 4th. Of our Jordan player of the game, Stephen Curry.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw dropper. It must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Cousins inside. Capella's there. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Well, Kevin, there's no secret. Cousins is one of the more fiery competitors in this league. And I like guys who play with their heart on their sleeve.
And he makes the first. DeMarcus Cousins, really the big final name in free agency last summer to land with the team. And Greg, did he shock the NBA world with his selection?
To take a one-year deal with the Warriors, nobody saw this coming. It makes sense for Boogie. Time to rehab and then join a contender for the back half of the season. You would think he'll get a much bigger and longer contract offer after this year.
Over in the corner, Paul. Harden outside. Plenty of space. Buries the jump shot.
Oh, that's just the confidence Harden has in himself. I mean, ready to fire as soon as he receives the pass.
Stolen by Harden. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. 1:11 left to play here in the fourth.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Warriors.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Steph Curry.
Just the scoring alone. I mean, it's a fantastic game for him. He was just going over, around, through the defense, I mean, all day long.
Outside Anthony. Over Durant. Anthony can't hit.
Yeah, and he had the D tangled up there with that patented crossover. Just couldn't convert the finish.
Curry against Paul. Outside Curry. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Steph, everyone knows you do a lot of different things for this team, but what would you say your primary focus is?
Trying to just take responsibility of my defensive duties. From the point guard, force them in a different situation, difficult shots. Being our first, line of defense as they're bringing the ball up, putting pressure on them, and try to take them out the offense. That's a lot of great point guards in this league, so I got to be able to do that all year and try to get a good start to that this season.
That's what franchise players do, play at both ends. Thank you, Steph. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you next time.